I'm Karen Wary, Manager of Clinical Performance Excellence, and today we're going to talk about pediatric weight and height. Pediatric weight and height is important for your physician. They have to know an accurate weight on these children and an accurate height. These children are growing at 3 times the rate that they're ever going to grow again in their life. Probably the most important thing you need to remember is safety, number 1, but number 2 is go back into that medical record and look at what the child weighed and what their height was last time, because you don't want to look silly and have the child weigh less than last time. If that should happen, that is something you need to bring to the provider's attention immediately. These children are growing way too fast at this time. You need to, again, to make sure that your scale has been calibrated. Make sure that Biomed or a private company comes out, calibrates your scale. Electronic scales, you'll know they're calibrated by looking at it when you turn it on, and you have 00 comes up here. If a number should come up, then you know your scale is not calibrated. Always make sure that the scale is clean before you put the child in. This is the first child of the day. My assistant here, who's helping me, my Cabbage Patch. I've laid a towel down there so that there's a barrier between this child. For children who come in for well visits, make sure everything is off of them. Diapers come off, clothes come off, socks, everything. Make sure you stay close. Do not leave these children unattended. You have to be there. And don't expect the parents to do it. If this is a sick visit, you can lay the child on the scale with all their clothes on, but you do have to document if the diaper is wet or dry. Very important. You know wet diapers weigh much more. Once you have the child's weight, you remember it. I write it down because things happen. You could write it here on your towel. Remove the child and make sure the child is safe when you place it with its parents. When you're finished with the scale, throw the paper away, get your cleanser out, a disinfectant, and clean your scale before you place another child here. Now, if we're going to be doing a child's height, the easiest way I have learned to do it is to do it on table paper. I always get the parents involved. I like my child to be lying there, but I like the parents to be up here and holding the head for me. This keeps the child safe at all times. I know this child's not going to squirm and worm away. I've got the child laying down here. I'm going to take a pen. I'm going to mark the top of their head. I'm going to come down there to the feet and to the heel with the foot perpendicular to the table. I mark their heel. And I do it again. I do it twice. Second time, I draw a circle around my mark. Then as I take the child, I hand the child off to the parent, make sure the child's safe. I have my measuring tape. I come back and I measure. They should be the same. If they're not the same, measure the child again. Get that child down there and once again have the parents hold their head, the child's head between their hands, and you're going to mark them again because you have to get this child stretched out and you have to know you have the correct height. These are very important parts of doing your pediatric height and weight. This is an important part of the big picture. Even though it's one small little part, it's very important that you have an accurate weight and an accurate height for this child. The provider or the physician needs this information. Make sure you've done it correctly. Don't skip any steps. If you have any questions, I'm Karen Wary with Health Texas Provider Network.